Grace be unto you and peace from God our Father and from the Lord Jesus Christ. I was glad when they said to me, let us go into the house of the Lord. And I'm Father Steve Sellers, and that was Dot, who just could not wait to get her new little bone this morning. And she'll probably start crunching that in a minute, and we'll be able to hear her do that. But it's a Monday morning again, and I hope that you are starting this day and this work week off in a good position, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, and mentally, that you are able to focus on what's going on around you today. You know, so much of life is just simply observing things that go on around us and paying attention. You know, I've been an opponent of the theory of multitasking. I have always thought multitasking was just another way of describing failure to pay attention. But whatever you believe, I hope you're in a good place today. And today is on the church calendar the feast day of St. Maximilian Kolbe, one of the giants of our faith, who died in the Auschwitz prison in Germany as a political prisoner of the Nazis on this day, August the 14th in 1941. And Father Kolbe was a Jesuit priest. He had an amazing experience at the age of 12 that he wrote about, where he said he had a vision of the Blessed Virgin Mary who came to him. He was Polish. He knew from an early age that he was headed toward some sort of a life in the religious world, and he eventually wound up going into the Franciscan order, the conventual Franciscan order. Wound up being ordained to the priesthood in 1918, and then in the short time he had as a priest, not very many years before he died in 1941, he founded newspapers, started a radio station, created a group called the Knights of the Immaculate One, published newspapers, broadcast, and founded monasteries through Poland, in Germany, in India, and in China. But at the age of 12, he was visited by the Blessed Virgin Mary, and he asked her, said, "What is to become of me?" Now, we all want to know that. Now, generally, we're not so self-aware as a 12-year-old to ask, what's going to happen to me in my life? That's a pretty astute person to ask that. But he said, "What is to become of me?" And the Blessed Virgin Mary held two crowns before him, a white crown and a red crown, and said, "Which one do you accept?" The white crown to guarantee that you will be able to persevere in holiness and purity, and the red crown symbolizing martyrdom for the faith. And young Raymond Kolbe, as his name was at birth, said, I will accept both. And so he did. He was not only a devout member of the Franciscan order, but when he was arrested as an enemy of the Nazi regime and taken to Auschwitz, it was a time when someone escaped from Auschwitz, and the guards, to punish the rest of them, said they were going to pick 10 prisoners at random and throw them into a cell and let them starve to death and die of thirst, so that everyone could see what happens to those who escape or try to escape. And so they picked 10. And one of the 10 was a married man with children, and he screamed out, "My wife, my children." And when Father Kolbe, who practiced as a priest in the midst of Auschwitz, ministering to the inmates, his fellow prisoners, when he heard that that man had a family, he said, "I will go in his place." And so Father Kolbe went into the dungeon with the other 9, and he prayed with them the whole time as they died. And he was the last one standing at the end, and the Nazis eventually kept seeing him at prayer. And they injected him with carbolic acid on this day, August the 14th, to kill him. He raised his arm out and let them inject him with it, and he died on this day. I was thinking only today of the wonderful hymn of the vision of Isaiah the prophet. This is holy, holy, holy. Blessed day today, and God willing, Dot and I will see you here again tomorrow. God bless you.